live, and Joe's like, "Wow, good word." It's like I'm not even sure I know what that means, but we're doing it.
Used it correctly.
BJ, do you know what precipice means?
You're muted. Nobody can hear you.
Aw.
Nobody here?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello? It's going. Is Joe muted? Joe, talk.
Hello? No.
We're unmuted? Well, that was a precipice.
You just wasted that whole precipice speech on dead air. Welcome to the worst podcast on the planet.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Audio is our kryptonite.
Speaking of that, did you see my video? I did a video yesterday of Dave Thomas, who's coming in at 9. Mike Ferbson just said, unfortunately, you can hear us. At 9:30, he's coming in. So I did a video of like I took the time, I edited it. For some reason, it froze like a third of the way through.
Nice.
But my voice kept going. So like I'm literally like this. And it's me talking. It's just like, good God. And then Dave Thomas is like, I can't wait to come on like this guy. It's like, why is he coming on our show? So Dave,
I noticed like when we try to take screenshots from video, you can never catch us all in something that is postable ever. We're always like that.
Somebody's like, yeah, it's just bad.
Always.
It's so bad. So we are going to go 9:30. He's coming in. He is state rep from 59 or 65, whatever one of those things. He's up north.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Ashtabula-ish.
Ashtabula and like part of Trumbull County.
Okay.
And he is like, are you familiar with this guy at all?
No, I've not met him.
He is, I've never met him either, but he's like really, really pushing like laws through and policy through for like the taxes, for he speaks out against DeWine, which I like, even though he's a Republican, because most of those guys are like that. But I can't stand DeWine. I think we've made that very clear. So he's going to be.
Have you ever talked to him in person?
DeWine?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
What's he like?
He's a polite guy. He's kind of squirrely a little bit, kind of nerdy. I wish he operated more intelligently like he looks rather than the politician. I'm not a big fan of his. I'm kind of neutral on him.
I don't like him at all. Like some of the stuff he does, yeah, he's like opposite of everything. Like they're trying to pass, and I want to talk about with this. They're trying to pass. He's trying to push for a seatbelt law where a cop can pull you over if you're not wearing your seatbelt. Right now, it's like a secondary thing, and I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. Like I think everyone should wear your seatbelt, but the more they do stuff like that, I feel we get closer and closer and closer to like a communist state. Does that make sense? Like it's like
tyranny. That's
exactly
little slices of tyranny.
Right. So then now they can be like, I pulled you over because I didn't think you had your seatbelt on. I don't like that.
Just more reasons to cash the checks.
Yes, exactly. I'm getting my popper ready for this interview. Yeah, that should be a good one. I'm curious. I wrote questions out like a prepared little podcaster.
You did or ChatGPT did?
ChatGPT did.
Okay.
I mean,
I make sure.
I had the ideas in my head.
Right. Yeah.
And then it does that. So yeah, I use ChatGPT, and all these people are like, oh, it's AI. Like my pictures, like AI sloth this. I don't care.
No.
I'm going to use it. It's a tool.
I use it 12 hours a day.
Do you really? Yeah. Oh, that was another one I want to talk about. I don't think I put that in here.
Well, you didn't let me talk about AI last time, so you deprived me of the Bitcoin talk.
Isaac and I were talking about that yesterday, where if you didn't watch the show, Isaac and I ranted about mortgages for an hour and 15 minutes on Tuesday. And then Joe's like, well, I got something to talk about. We're like, yeah, hold on a second, Joe. And they're like, okay, see you guys later. It looks so bad.
I was fuming.
Yeah, AI.
So if you want to stay tuned for a topic we won't get to later in the show, we'll talk about AI. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Hey, BJ in the back. As soon as Joe starts talking about something like that, I'm annoying that. Just cut it. All right. So real fast before we got some work to do here. So it's Friday.
It is.
Menchie's. Let's talk about that. We're gonna get our sponsors out of the way now. Okay. Menchie's, 20% off. There it is. 20% off if you go and mention the MLO Bros. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, like one person had went and done it. Angelina with a J, one of our followers, posted a picture, tagged us, and Menchie said they like lit up with like 8 more people walked in and were getting it. I was like, yes.
Look at that. Angelina, we should hire Angelina. Do you think she could be part of your operation?
We don't have enough money to hire her.
Maybe how about recruit for a volunteer?
That's fine.
Angelina.
Maybe she could be an intern.
There you go. Angelina the intern.
Yeah.
Beloved by the show.
Yeah. So we are going to if you want to go, tonight's Friday, go to Menchie's in Boardman. right by IHOP. Go in there, say the MLO. Load your little bowl up with food, and say the MLO bro sent you 20% off. I mean, that's a good savings. 20% is a lot. I was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it." I was like, "Are you still making money?" They're, "Oh yeah, we're making." I was like, "Okay." I feel like they're free ice cream at 20%. And then also, thank you to Saner Solutions. You know those guys. Do you ever have raccoons problems or anything?
No. I had one wildlife problem where a hawk got injured and was flopping around in my backyard, and I felt bad for him. I just called the game warden.
Oh, you didn't.
I didn't off them. No, I don't think you're allowed to. Red-tailed hawks are protected.
Are they?
I think so. Yeah.
They're awesome. They're awesome critters. Did they come and get it?
So game warden came out.
Did he come out
with gloves? No. he grabbed the wings with gloves. I mean, he was protected because those talons will tear you up. And he bound the wings and tied it up, and then took it in his little paddy wagon truck. Yeah. I
know, those are cool. I mean, birds are cool. Like hawks, owls, all those birds of prey are freaking sweet. As far as I'm concerned,
I'd love to have a falcon. Wouldn't that be awesome? I would walk around with my falcon in the door.
Oh, dude, he's so ridiculous. Like BJ comes in here, and be like, "What's his name? What's a good falcon name? I need like Maximus attack."
Yes,
Maximus. Yeah.
In my high school yearbook photo, I had an iguana perched on my shoulder.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. An iguana's not quite as cool as a hawk, for the record.
But for a 17-year-old, iguanas are shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We so anyway, Saner Solutions. He is like the friendly guy. He doesn't try and I don't think he kills. I don't think he does. He doesn't like.
He releases
them out. There it is. Saner Solutions. He releases them out. He's an expert on this stuff. You've had him on. Mm-hmm. He knows his shit, right?
He's amazing. He's a nice guy, and he knows his shit.
So again, Saner Solutions. If you have, I mean, you're going to have spring's coming. So rabbits, groundhogs, all that kind of stuff, and he'll relocate them. So there he is. He's watching. Yay!
Stupid freaking chipmunks. That's the bane of my existence.
Dude, the bane of my existence is rabbits.
Rabbits.
They are everywhere. I plant my flowers, and they just level them. Mm-hmm. And I spray them with the stuff. Like they have the spray. Nothing works. Mm-hmm. The only thing I think that works is marigolds, those little flowers.
Yeah.
Once they grow, they scare them off. But other than that, man, it's awesome. We had Menchie's absolutely stand by our 20 team. You got Saner Solutions, you got Karen from Menchie's watching. Everybody's watching.
I love our audience. It's good. It's amazing.
It's good. So do us a favor. Please.
And thanks for your support, by the way. Both.
It's awesome. Like I said, we're actually getting people sponsoring us, which I never thought would happen because of us being us, and get people like this. Like he doesn't care. Sander doesn't care because you should see some of the posts he makes on his Facebook page. And then Karen has been with us for a long time, so it's fantastic.
Good people.
And I think we have Isaac said we have another one coming. Okay. And I also think the photog guy, what's his name? Emmanuel is interested in doing it too. So we're getting sponsors, which is fantastic.
And it's good because these are all local businesses that our audience can go out there and support buying local.
Yeah. Is the 20% off the entire order? I believe it's the entire order because Angelina with a J had 5 things on the weight thing, 5 giant tubs. Yeah. So see, that's why we sponsor you. We love it. Well, we appreciate it. And like I said, it takes a lot. And you even kind of said this when we started, getting sponsors for us. You were worried because it was we are controversial sometimes, 100%. And you're like, I don't know if people are going to sponsor you guys.
Well, I wasn't worried for that. I was worried because I wanted to make absolute sure that we gave good value to sponsors to make sure if they get a first taste of social media advertising that they got business because of it.
Right.
And I didn't want to anybody to be hurt because of it.
Right. Yeah. See, that's a concern for me too. Yeah. With Karen, with Menchie's, why I did that. I was we have to do something so we can monitor how much business you're actually getting from it, right? And she said 7 or 8 people went in now in totally 2 days. Totally worth it, right?
Absolutely.
And it's I don't want them to sponsor and then not get anything out of it, right? So I think Sander, and I think this year, I think we've always talked. I'm going to go on the road with him and help him trap animals.
You gonna get video of it? I want to see.
Could you imagine? I think this is the year I do it, and I think I might bring Lucas with me too, because my 14, because he's such a wuss about everything. Bring him on there and have him hold a freaking possum.
Here's what I want him to do. I want Saner Solutions, right, to say, All right, what we have here, Luke, is a black bear. And how we usually handle this is you have to submit them. The only way we can get them out of here is you got to hug them and submit them. Go.
I'm going to jump on his back and try jump on the bear's back, try and choke him out.
Yes, yes.
Choke him out. I'm in, Sander. Find me a bear. 5 minutes, start punching him in his belly from behind.
Dude, I'm for Benny Hill music. It would be amazing.
I'm in. What we should do is do a video and have Isaac dress up in the bear, or have me dress up in the bear and have Isaac try and tackle it. It's the whole order. You could go in there and freaking order 15 things. Holy crap.
And we're also going to need a weight loss sponsor for those who take advantage of our yogurt deal. We also have to follow that up. We have been Saner needs to trap Bigfoot, dude. That's another thing. Like, he was up there. Did you hear? What?
Did you hear where Bigfoot was?
Oh yeah, I heard about it. I thought you meant Saner was.
No, the freaking he was up in like Cortland and stuff, like up there, and it was like they were tracking him as he like came south. I'm like, seriously? And they were dead serious about this. Mm-hmm. Check out my Friday the 13th offer I posted today. And yes, let's do this. The MLO bros do wild. I mean, that would be freaking amazing.
Just remember, it's the way we deal with black bears.
Yes,
is we submit them.
I like how Bigfoot only gets spotted by Bigfoot Society. Was it just Bigfoot People Society?
People who are looking for it found it instead of just somebody who was walking their dog and they're like, oh, look, what's that?
I think a lot of that has to do with like, when we go ghost hunting, you want to see something and you kind of sometimes do see something. I almost think it's something like that with Bigfoot.
Maybe.
Or it's just totally people in like ghillie suits and stuff is my other thought. But, all right. Luke working with wildlife people instead of being searched for by them. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. Right. There was a video Jeremy's going to share where he turns me into Bigfoot up in Cortland and I run around. It's kind of funny.
Nice.
So, all right. We have 80 people watching. Do us a favor. Please like this. Please follow the MLO Bros. Please follow Youngstown Studio. Share this. Go down and hit the little share and share this. Again, we are just waiting for Dave Thomas to come in at 9:30. We're going to take questions, take calls. We'll go through all this. I got a bunch of stuff I want to ask. Like, what questions do you have for a guy like this? So, again, he's passing laws. He's doing all this stuff.
All right, so here, one objective here. Politicians, when they come in front of a microphone, they go straight to effing stump speeches. And we're going to listen to just go on. If we can get him to have a conversation like regular human beings, that will be a victory.
I think we're pretty good at that.
Okay. Well, and I tried this with Tim Ryan one time.
It doesn't work.
And I deviated like 1 degree and they would just go back to the stump speech and it was just boring. I heard that shit already.
We noticed that. So most of the time, and I think it's just Isaac and I. Now, Isaac's not here, but again, you and I can do it. Isaac and I, just because of our personalities, can get them most of the time to act like when Tex was in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like
that anyways. Yeah. He's 27-year-old kid, right? Tex, Katrona, like you get those guys in here and you can see them kind of lower their guard a little bit, right?
Right.
Do you know the one guy we couldn't get to lower our guard because he was so political?
Who's that?
Freaking Tito.
Oh, yeah.
We did an interview with Tito when he was running for mayor. Not recently because he hated us, but before, the first time he ran, we could not get him to drop his guard down. He was such a politician. And that was when I was like, ew, I don't like this guy because he would not be normal. He would not be, not drop his guard.
Well, I was in a private cigar lounge sitting next to Tito, and he never dropped his guard in a private setting where only like 5 people. Tito.
Yeah, he never did. He was such a politician. I mean, if you go like old school stuff, Trafficani, the commissioner, he's playing his guitar on our podcast during COVID. Gino, I mean, shit. I mean, he's, Gino's Gino, right? So it's just like all the politicians, most of the time we can do it.
Yeah, Bill Johnson was like that too.
Yeah.
He came in and it was tough on him politically anyway because of who he was and what he was pushing on. So I'm not surprised that he had to stick to his scripts and whatever, but he never came off any kind of personal back and forth at all. It was just all stomp.
See, I don't like that. Yeah. That's not good. Luke looks like he smells like relish. Thanks, Isaac. Denny Malloy is also, I think, very normal.
Santos,
very normal. Yeah. Denny Malloy does get going though sometimes. Let's be honest.
Yes,
he gets rolling.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he gets rolling on his shit. It's like, man, Dave Thomas has zero clue the shit show he's walking into in here. I think he does. Get Carol on to threaten to kill people.
Everybody in this area knows what they're in for when they come here. There's going to be no surprises.
Yeah, I'm still a little shocked by that, where how much people actually watch this damn show. I am kind of blown away by it. Like, even people up in Trumbull County now are like, we were at a school board meeting the other day, and after the school board meeting, the school board members were talking, and somebody heard the school board member say, "We don't film. We purposely are not getting cameras in our meetings because of the MLO bros." And I'm like, well, that's kind of the opposite of what we want.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but public pressure can undo that.
Exactly. But that's literally what they said. And they said, because they don't want us able to come at them with recorded material. I was like, that's exactly what we want. Like, so to me, that is, you don't want to be held accountable is what that is. And I swear to God, it's the same reason why Poland Village will not stream their meetings and record them, because they don't want the public pressure.
Yep.
Which is just mind blowing. That to me is, you're doing shady shit that you don't want people to know about. Is that him? Is he here?
He is here.
Live mic, don't say anything bad. I warned him. What's up, man? Luke, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, so where are we doing? So
Hey, how's it going?
you're going to sit over there by yourself. We're going to isolate you.
No, we'll put him over there.
Put him over next to me.
And I'll still do the controls.
I want to.
You want to look at him without your...
I can see here.
No, you're good. Just sit there. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, everybody. David Thomas, not the guy from Wendy's.
No.
Have you heard that your entire life?
Oh, yes.
You've had to, right?
First
You're nice and cool. You got to talk
Okay.
real close to these here.
radio ad, I actually did a play on that,
Huh?
saying, we'll keep Ohio fresh, not frozen, asking where's the beef for taxes. So they never sued me.
Yeah,
He's never
perfect.
actually sued me.
He's never.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're good. I think you're. Unless you keep going higher, then you will. Christina Oliver says, "Hi, Dave."
Hi, Christina.
You know her?
Oh, cool. Yes.
Isn't that cool? So we can read the comments. So if
Okay.
anybody starts talking crap to you, we can read this.
Good luck.
And then we appreciate you coming in, dude. You're a
Oh.
busy freaking guy.
No, absolutely happy to.
So before we get into all the boring stuff, tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
So born and raised Ashtabula.
Okay.
So about 50
Where'd
minutes.
you go to high school?
Small school. Actually, both my parents were teachers.
Okay. Wow.
So at a boarding school up in Ashtabula, born and raised there. Went through Geneva though for
Okay.
most of the system.
Yeah.
Left for college, came back.
Where'd you go to school? College.
Small school in Virginia, Washington Lee University.
You ever
so-
heard of that? I've never heard of that.
never
Wow.
heard of that.
Small
where
school.
Robert E. Lee went after the Civil War.
Hold on. My
Okay.
dad said, "Fix your collar on your shirt."
Oh,
Look at that.
Look
Oh,
at my
nice.
Dad. Look at my dad. Wait, let's see. Is that better, Dad? Is that better?
thanks for looking out.
Look
for
at
me.
Fred Schuster showed up big.
So yeah, Robert E. Lee went there after the Civil War. He's born around there, buried there. Travelers buried there. Lots of Southern history.
Huh.
So really enjoyed it, but very small.
Huh.
Came back after college, and yeah.
And then what did you do after college? Did you go right into politics?
No. So actually worked at the high school for a little bit. Became a township fiscal officer. Did that for 3 years.
Fiscal
County
officer.
auditor for 6 years, and then.
So you're the
ran-
Ashtabula County auditor.
Yes.
So you know about taxes then.
Yes, that's
so,
why-
So you're familiar with this then.
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Why the hell politics? What the F made you inspired to go into politics?
Yeah. So I was a good.
like why? Like that's a great question because people are like,
I think about that a lot.
Yeah, people like weird people are like, why don't you run for politics? I was like, there is no,
No
way.
way.
There's
No.
no way.
I wouldn't
fine.
put anybody I care about in politics ever. It's a brutal game. Go ahead.
yeah. Why would you do it?
I don't blame you. So I was one of those weird kids.
Can you
So-
turn up Dave's mic? Sorry, before we go here.
Good.
Okay. So I was one of those kind of weird kids that when I was, freshman in high school, started to attend township meetings. Small township, Austinburg.
You
Route
just went in there
45.
as a freshman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to attend twice a month and just kind of got like the bug for it. Just loved what they were doing. Started to do it a little bit more, got involved with the party. And then they actually asked if I could be on the zoning board when I was 16 for Austinburg. So did a prosecutor opinion, made sure it was legal.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. I couldn't
Wow.
vote yet.
At 16.
But yeah. So
right.
served there for 2 years. So we were doing like pool policy, how higher fences could be.
Yeah.
Where the 4590 exit right now is actually pretty busy. So all of it didn't exist back then. So we did the zoning kind of regulations for car lots, for hotels.
Huh.
So it's pretty cool to like have that experience and see, we even fought over how big the font should be on our text. Should it be 10-point font? Should it be 12-point
Wow.
font? So learning kind of like, okay, big rules, but also just personalities. that type of piece, having a role in your community. So
that's
when I started.
You were doing that.
Okay.
And it just kind of just grew from there. It just made sense. And I love local government, love that like ability to have an impact, to actually see the change that you're doing. A state's completely different, but my heart's kind of much more on the local side.
So you get the local side then, because you were in local politics for a long time. I mean, that makes sense. Then.
You can't. So everyone in my county has my cell phone. I put it on all my campaign lit.
Yeah.
You can't run away from people. I actually kind of like that, because you're much more accountable. You have to actually answer to people. Every time in the grocery store, folks either come up and they yell at you, or they give you a hug. Thankfully, lately it's a little bit more on the hug side versus the yelling side. But
do you get yelled at in public sometimes? Me too. Me too.
But it's my job. You're just doing this for fun. You're probably getting yelled at.
Yeah.
Maybe for your job. I don't
but
know.
He likes it. You probably not so much.
I enjoy the conflict personally. I hope people come up and yell
if someone
at me.
hugs too long, he's like,
I hope
well, if people are upset with you for the right reason, I do actually like that, because it shows that you're making a difference, and you're not doing things big unless you're actually changing people's mindsets and making people upset. But if they're hating you for the wrong reason,
like they come up to you and say, "You're a Nazi. Why are you a Nazi?"
Exactly.
Right.
Then you're like, well, there's nothing you can do, because
no conversation.
No. So that's just a part of local side, a part of kind of, got the bug, and have been doing this now. So I'm 32. So Tex and I was hoping to be on that same day that he was on. So I apologize, but
no, you're good.
We actually have 19 of us who are under 40 in the House.
That's crazy.
Just on the Republican side.
That's good. I think that's a good thing,
Absolutely.
because I mean, politicians most of the time in my head they're old.
And what is the average age of our House?
So probably about 50, because we have a
All right,
lot
that's
that
not
are
bad.
under 40, and then we have a decent number that are retired around their 60s. I think our oldest member, Dan Troy, he's 72.
Okay.
So it's actually a pretty good mix.
And honest to God, 72 is like the new 60.
Yeah,
to be fair, I mean, how old's Trump? And like those guys are like 80s, or he's like 80s, right? I mean, that's super old. So, wow, how old's DeWine?
He's 78.
Yeah. See.
So
now, do you get along with him? Is he a personality that you can work with?
Hold on, that was one of my questions.
I did. It's true.
Do you even know that? Hold on a second. I'm gonna write that one up, because I've seen some videos of him. Go ahead. What do you think of DeWine?
Yeah.
What do you think of DeWine?
So I'm the most vetoed legislator by the governor.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that down as a no. You don't like him?
Not on the Christmas card list.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I also testified against him even before I started during the COVID time with some of the rules and trying to rein him in. He's
cocktail parties.
No, I skipped the Christmas party. Probably better not to be there.
Fantastic.
I like this guy
all of a sudden.
But he is a very he is an old school. He knows his people, and he's very involved. Not the biggest. He just doesn't represent the state as much as maybe 15, 20, 30 years ago.
That's fair.
Very out of touch with, I think, where the Republican Party especially is moving. State of the state last week, you saw that. Lots of talking about kids, about education, nothing else about any of the big topics that are going on.
Right. Yeah.
And that's him, though. He is very genuine. He's very him, but he just doesn't really deviate much.
Yeah. He drove me crazy. His downfall for me was COVID.
Oh, yeah.
100%. And I think it was the downfall of the whole state was when he had the way he bumbled COVID and like you said, no cocktail parties. If you're outside, you got to be safe. Like, come on, dude. Like that was closing down businesses, which is one of the reasons why we, the MLO Bros, got started was during COVID, because all these local businesses didn't have any support. Is the way they felt. So we were having business owners on to try and say you're still open, and that was brutal. So when did you first get elected?
So first elected township fiscal officer was in 2015, and then auditor was in 2018, and then ran for this position back in 2024.
Okay, so you're still kind of fresh then.
Yeah, so both freshmen. So just finished first year.
You're doing a lot as a freshman thing, because you're passing all these freaking rules, man. I was looking at your I pulled up the stuff. When I say research, I use ChatGPT, Joe. Let's be honest.
I was gonna say anything. I was gonna
You
say,
were thinking- you
I
were
thought
thinking,
it, but
yeah.
I didn't say it.
We can check for accuracy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if I did this by myself, it'd be
Just
brutal.
polish some words, right? Just punched it
It'd
up.
be bad if I
Yeah.
tried to do it without ChatGPT. And you have like all these different laws and rules. I mean, that's got to be unique for a freshman guy, right?
Yeah. So very, very fortunate. Actually, 13% or so of the bills the governor signed last year were mine.
That's crazy.
So really, that's why I ran the tax issue, property taxes.
Right.
Actually doing something on it was the whole point of me running. In addition to just, I ran against my predecessor. There were issues there. So kind of came in, knew what I wanted to do. The speaker was very open to giving me the door.
Awesome.
And walked through it. We did 5 bills just on taxes alone. 2 other bills the governor signed on, one on education, one on hunting and fishing, and then a couple more that passed the House.
What's the hunting and fishing one? That's my ballpark there. I love that stuff.
So what do you think the age is for a senior hunting and fishing license?
What the age you have to be?
Yeah.
I think I know this. Isn't it 70 something? 65? What is it?
66.
Okay.
Super random, super weird.
66. Is
First,
that Social Security? Is that a jump in Social Security? Don't you get a jump in Social Security at 66? No?
I don't know. It's been around for 100 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
I got a message on my Instagram, first day in office. Guy went to do a senior license, said, I'm 65. I thought that's when it should be.
That would make sense.
But it's 66. Can you change that? Wrote a bill, got it passed. Governor signed it in June of last year.
Huh. There you
So
go.
yeah, just simple.
And just a little tiny bill like
Yes.
that, little
Yeah.
year-old thing.
Yeah, just from a guy on Instagram that messaged and said, so our best kind of ideas actually come from just people reaching out. And
That's awesome.
Now, is there any immediacy? Like, do the Republicans have a contingency for an Amy Acton administration and undermining
you gave me the
and
shivers.
putting you into strict action so you can get it done before that prospect?
So lame duck, which is after the election of this year, should craziness happen, her get elected, you're going to see lame duck be absolutely insane because
Okay.
we're going to have to do a whole bunch of things. I don't even know what that would look like to try to just stave off what her 4 years, because it would only be 4. Her 4 years would be.
Not a fan. Right. Hold on. Not fan Amy Acton. Write that down. Write that note down.
How on earth she is their nominee? It's a blessing. Because Vivek already announced a $10 million ad buy from now until the primary. He's going to spend probably 3 to 4 times that after the primary.
Right.
Most of those ads will be all the businesses that got shuttered.
Oh, it's brutal.
Her with the face. I mean, Ohio was ahead of the curve on that. Unfortunately, we were one of the ones that actually set how the rest of the
It
nation
was
went.
so bad.
And she is the figure point for that.
Yeah. And then DeWine gets on there and defends her.
Yes.
Defended her.
Yes.
Said, oh, it wasn't her. It's not her. I was like, are you serious,
Which
dude?
all the more important, if it's not her, it's him. She wants to be him. And so what does that actually mean then in terms of what she could do?
Yeah, no thanks.
That's
No.
a good campaign ad right there.
Yes, exactly. So I don't think I mean, the polling right now, I just saw one yesterday that she's at like 53, Vivek's at 45 or so. I don't think that's real. 2, it's probably close. That's usually how it goes. And then once he starts spending money, once people actually start paying attention, remembering who she is,
I don't trust those polls either,
No.
man. There's no way.
No.
Pop, if you have a question for our state rep, you can call in and talk to him about it. I'm not going to do your dirty work for you. You call in, have Fred call in.
Yeah,
like
Fred's a professional talk
caller.
radio caller.
Yeah, he is. He calls verb all the time.
Yeah, so he'll stage it well.
And again, if you guys have questions for him, call in. Be respectful, or Joe will cut you off because I know we get into politics and everybody gets. I'll cut you off. Hell yeah.
That's a cutoff mic.
And then exactly. And then and call in or ask us questions here. So, all right, ready to get into this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ask away.
Chat GPT questions.
All right.
Do homeowners actually own their homes ever? I'm gonna go right to that. Do homeowners, and if you don't know what there's reference to at home, obviously, there's this thing. If you pay your house off, right, you shouldn't have to pay taxes anymore. That's what's. Hey, what's up?
All
This
right.
is Isaac.
Oh, hi, Isaac.
Meet State Rep Dave Thomas.
Nice to meet you.
Have you ever been interviewed?
Yeah.
He comes in here a lot. He's like a figure. He's a
famous.
person in our show. He walks in here. We ask him
A
questions.
lot of people know me. I don't know them.
Did you ever have anybody? Has anyone ever said to you, "Are you on the MLO Bros show yet?"
One person.
Yeah,
Victory.
exactly. One person said it. See?
Our supervisor's wife follow you guys.
Yeah.
She said, I think I heard a male carrying their Isaac, but you know him, so yeah.
Sorry about that, Isaac.
He's part of the show.
Yeah, he's gonna get.
You guys did it.
Yeah, right.
USPS should be one of your sponsors.
They
What's
got
that?
money. They got tons of
You
it.
should UBS. Oh, yeah.
Add us to the liabilities list.
All right, you ready to take a call already? We got a call. All right, then we're gonna get back to
That
that.
doesn't answer your question.
It's okay. We're gonna get back to it, dude. Welcome to the show. Nothing happens here on time. Well, that's loading up. That'll take a second to load. Wait, I think we're here. Christine, you there?
Yes, good morning.
It's Christine
Hi,
Oliver.
Dave.
Oh, hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I was asked this question yesterday, so I am going to give it to you because I know you have the answer since you are the property tax reform leader. People are asking if property taxes get abolished. Is there any kind of plan coming? Is there anything being worked on in anticipation of it?
Is that a question?
Just friggin' took one of my good questions, Christine.
Sorry. I was just
Great.
yesterday.
Great. I chat GPT this for a minute today. Took a minute out of my day to ask all these questions. Just scratch it off. No, I'm just kidding. Christine, good job. All right, we're going to hang up on you, Christine, and we'll let him answer that.
Thank you.
That's a good question.
Oh yeah, no, so there's so much here. The quick answer is right now, no, there is no plan
There's no plan.
because, and I spoke at the Township Association conference about a month ago. Had a funeral receiving line full of people to ask me the same question. They all think the legislature is doing the abolish movement.
Really?
The legislature is not doing the abolish movement. So it's not the House, it's not the Senate. Private citizens who are fed up, who are just wanting to blow up the system.
Right.
And because it's private citizens, not the legislature, we have not actually put on paper what would happen if the abolish happens.
So no planning at all because,
As of right now, no.
okay.
Now, North Dakota was a state that tried to do this about 3 years ago
I didn't know that.
to abolish. It failed 60-40. One of the reasons it failed, in the actual text language, they put, here's what will happen if this is abolished. And it was changes with the sales tax, income tax.
Yeah.
People clearly saw it, and they said, wait, I'm actually going to be paying more than what
Yes.
we're currently paying. I'm voting no. I know the leaders of the citizen group. They're smart. They're very good people. They're very passionate. And they knew we're just going to say abolish, 4 sentences, very simple. And then it's up to the legislature to fix it.
Which is what they are trying to do.
Yes.
I mean, they admit they're trying to blow the system up and
Mhm.
force the hand of the legislature.
Yes.
Yeah.
And had they not done this movement, we would not have been, those 5 bills we passed last year.
Right.
I would not have gone to them.
So they did make you guys do stuff though.
Oh, I think them
Yeah.
almost every week
Yeah.
because they've essentially shown folks that this is a big issue
Yeah.
and you have to do something.
Right.
Um,
Now, if there's a referendum, how long do you have to figure it out how you're going to backfill that?
So we'll know July 1st, they have to turn in the signatures. It's about 412,000 or so signatures that they need, valid signatures. They really need to turn in about 600,000 or so.
To make, because they're going to
Yep.
wipe out the ones that don't count.
July 1st, if they do that, then I always thought Columbus would be better, but Columbus is just like DC. You actually need a deadline, you need the wall, you need some crisis to work up against, and then you
Definitely.
actually get the stuff done.
Okay.
So July 1st, if they turn in signatures, if they're valid, then you will essentially see, okay, here's what we'll do. My guess, and I always and I think Christina and I talked about this, there's already ways to do revenue that's not on the property side for
Okay.
most of our local services. Remember, property tax is $24 billion, all
Yeah.
stays local level, none to Columbus. County level, you have the sales tax
Right.
plus property. Property goes away, county level services, sales tax increases.
Yeah.
Village and city, you've got property and you've got income. Property goes away, income tax increases to fill in the gap. Your question, though, is essentially schools. Schools do have an income tax option. My guess is we probably would have them increase their income tax. at the
They do
local
have an
level.
income. Schools do. I didn't know
So
that.
about a third of schools across the state, not in our area,
Yeah.
but especially Northwest Ohio, Southeast, they actually have an income tax. And it helps to offset then. Seniors don't pay it because it's only earned income. It offsets some of the property. So I think we would just essentially ramp that up,
Wow.
decrease the property side. Your question, though, is townships or other districts like fire, ambulance districts. Those are a little bit more questionable. My best guess, though, is townships largely go away. Those services essentially move to a southern state model where they're done at the county level, where you have incorporated areas and you have the county. County then does the services for EMS, for fire, roads, any of the services that are currently done by
Is that how it's done in the South now?
Yes.
So the county handles basically all the roads and everything.
So we're unique. I'm already going to give it away. The top state in terms of taxing districts in the nation is Ohio. We have 4 times the number of taxing districts that California has.
When you say, explain.
So over 6,000 taxing districts. Your township, your fire districts, your police districts, your water districts, any district that has access to your property tax bill,
it's considered
over 6,000 of them.
Wow.
And we just piled them up. It's our history. Western Reserve, we love that small local kind of piece. Everything was focused. It levels. And that's where part of our just expense issue comes in. We have so many areas of government that, now the property side has gotten way out of whack. It's stacked up. You can remove it. I tell folks it's doable. Anything's doable. It's just what actually happens if that's the case. So there's not formal plans of, okay, we will pass this legislation if this constitutional amendment passes, but that's where I would see, because I don't see the legislature, DeWine asked for a small increase in the cigarette tax to pay for childcare. We even said no to that because we will not raise taxes at the state level.
Wow.
We decreased the income tax again this year.
Right.
So I don't see the legislature actually passing any increases to replace that revenue.
Do you think regionalization, like Brian just said,
consolidation,
consolidated everything, right?
It has to
It'll
happen.
force it. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It has to happen anyway. We cannot afford 614 school districts, 900 municipalities. There's 1,300 townships. There's 88 counties, plus everything else that's happening. We can't afford it anymore. The abolish movement. I told the township officials this. They're not attacking you. You are just a byproduct of the system. And if the system goes away, you go away too. That's just part of the reality.
I've heard regionalization and consolidation since I was a kid on talk radio. Why is it so impossible to actually happen?
Everyone loves their local football team.
That's it.
Everyone loves to see their village name on the fire truck. And when you talk about regionalization, you want other people to consolidate, but you want to still stay relatively the same, just someone else pay for it. And perfect example, Reagan breakfast 2 weeks ago, guy came up to me, always complains about his tax bill. And he said, I heard you want to try to consolidate schools. I love my school. I love that it's small. You can't touch my school. And I said, well, you're going to have to pay more then. Are you willing to do that? And he said, I'll pay whatever I want and can. My school needs to stay small because that's what's best for our area. And that's ultimately the rub. The state can't come in and force consolidation.
Right.
Locals typically don't have the political ability to do so. And now you just keep stacking on more and more spending.
We have used, I don't know, I know you're from Ashtabula, but Poland Township is, let's just say, Poland Township's here. You have down by the river, you have Lowville going north, and then you have Poland Township. So literally Poland Township encircles Lowville. Lowville has like a graduating class of like 30 to 40 people. It makes no sense to me. And I didn't even know, like I said, that top part of Poland Township is up there, right? For the school system, why is Lowville not being consolidated with Poland? Right? It just makes sense.
Yeah, because they need a superintendent, they need a administration,
administration,
and all of that
and
overhead.
they could still be to have this
for
have their
30
own
kids.
school down there. That's fine. You bring that up to somebody in Lowville.
Ape shit. Totally.
Those Italians down there will go freaking bonkers,
Yes.
right? Because you can't do it because this is their school. But again, it's like, okay, cool, you guys got to pay for it. Whoa.
Yes. They're also typically the first ones to complain about their tax bills.
Yes.
But then they're also the first ones to vote for new levies because that supports their school.
Mm-hmm.
And so that conversation is just important to have right now too, and reminding folks of, okay, if you want this is the true local control that people say they always want. I don't think people from other parts of the state should be subsidizing your desire to have much smaller forms of government.
Right.
That's just a reality. We're trying the whole tax philosophy, send less to Columbus, keep more here. You then decide how that money is spent.
Right. I like it. I mean, I like the local aspect of it. Like you said, like I like the fact that I can call Eric Ungaro, township trustee in Poland, when my light's out in front of my house because my kids are walking down to the bus, and he's immediately on it.
That you're paying for it. So the alternative would be, just like in some of the southern states, instead of calling your trustee, you'd call some service department at the county level.
And who knows if that ever gets done, though.
So that's the difference. So Ohioans have really good levels of government. It's just
very expensive.
Yes.
That's it.
That comes
but
with
squashing this feels like a unicorn. It feels like there's nothing that's going to happen that's going to force that to ever be.
Right. And I think we will move there just because we're going to have to. Reality is the property tax side is the perfect example. It just comes to a point where people truly, truly cannot afford it anymore.
Yeah.
And at some point, things have to give. We've done some of the opposite. There was a bill last General Assembly. There's a lot of small villages that cannot run people. No one wants to run for office. They can't do services. So in 2030, there'll be, I think about 200 or so villages that will have to vote. Do we go away or do we still stay around?
I bet they'll still want to stay around. So
they probably will. But
100%.
then the essentially it's put to the voters. All right, you have this very inefficient village.
Yeah.
You're not doing services. We're asking you, do you want to morph back into the township? And at least putting that in front of people.
Right.
That's never happened in our history in Ohio. We've, if anything, layered more as opposed to trying to take away.
Wow.
We got calls over
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead and take another.
Oh, good Lord.
Hello. You're on, caller.
Hello. Hello. I called in, Luke. So I'm going to talk about it.
What's your name, sir?
First time caller.
My name is Fred Schuster.
Where are you from?
I'm from Lake Tomahawk.
That's my father.
Oh.
Go ahead, Fred. How can we help you, sir?
I get tired of hidden taxes or taxes that are disguised as fees. A perfect example, and I have this tag already, but in the state of Ohio, if you have a lake on your property or a boat on your property or a pond on your property, you have to pay a $24 fee, even if you take that item off never leaves your property. It's always on your property, and it's a hidden tax. And you have a private lake, you can't put a paddle boat on there without a fee.
And you don't get money back. I'll explain it to him, Pop. That's a good question, though. I'll explain it, like the hidden fees and hidden costs kind of stuff, right?
Right. And when I talked to Catrona about it, he has a pond on his property. He was blown away that he couldn't put a paddle boat without the state coming in fining him for having a paddle boat without a fee, without the tag on the boat.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll explain. Thanks, Pop.
You're welcome.
Love you. See you for dinner tonight. I'm coming over to your house tonight for dinner. Mom's cooking for me.
I know. I heard.
Okay. Bye.
No fish fry?
It is a fish fry.
Oh,
it
nice.
is a fish fry. That's exactly what we're doing. It's a fish fry. Exactly what we're doing.
I think he's still on there.
Pop?
Yeah.
What are you going to do to hang up with my dad? All right. So what he's talking about is Lake Tomahawk is a private lake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've run into issues at the lake with ODNR, which is, by the way, a communist organization. I love them. I love this, but they are a communist organization. There's no controlling them. Anyways, a whole nother topic.
Yes, this.
So they are forcing us to fix the dam.
Oh, yes.
And the last 3 years, the lake has been down, and then all of a sudden, my dad, obviously, as you can tell, he can be a little rough, went at ODNR and a bunch of people, and they're letting us fill the lake back up while the dam's repaired. However, now, because ODNR is involved, they're saying you have to have the boat tag on a private lake. Okay. And when you fill the form out at the ODNR to get the tag, you have to put the name of the lake. The name of the lake, we went and put Lake Tomahawk. And they're like, no, you have to put another name of a lake. And we're like, well, why? Well, because it has to be a state lake. And we're like, our pontoon boat is on the lake, on Lake Tomahawk. You are literally telling us to basically fraud an ODNR document to put whatever, like Mosquito Lake. They're like, yeah, you have to do it that way or you won't get a tag.
Well, I would say then you don't need a tag.
That's what we said.
And
the money, here's the thing. The money that I'm getting won't go back to our lake.
Right.
That's and that's what my dad was. So he talked to Catrona. He called a bunch of people. So
have you guys met down in Columbus or up here with ODNR and Catrona?
They have done. I haven't done it. I've just heard about it. They've had meetings with ODNR. I think they had their first face-to-face meeting with ODNR, and after they did a face-to-face, that is when they let him fill the lake up because I guess everybody was riding. Yeah. But I mean, it was down like 20 feet. Like you couldn't do anything. It was terrible. So
interesting. Well, and that's a good like fees, service requirements, different type of taxes. There should always be some service aspect back there.
They're not getting anything back.
So yes, if you're not, I mean that's a problem, right? That is bad. That is
so
bad.
Catrona is on. I know Catrona is on it.
Okay, good.
Because that's his area. He said he's going to work on a law next year to say if you own a private lake, you don't have to do it. I was like, there, perfect. So.
Especially if there's no state spending on that lake.
Why would you?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Here's another good example.
Go.
Do you guys have hybrids or do you have traditional gas cars?
I have 2 electric cars.
I have a gas guzzling truck.
Oh, so when you do your fee and your license, you pay an extra. I'm sure you know an extra amount. Yes, yeah. I have this normal hybrid. I pay an extra $150.
That's crazy, though.
That is the second most often thing people reach out to our office about. The first thing is property taxes. Second thing is when they're registering and they have to pay that extra amount. And they actually, like for example, I drive probably about 75,000 miles a year.
Wow.
So I'm obviously paying a whole lot more in gas tax than your traditional person on top of then the extra. It's $150. It's not, but it's just more the principle.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get rid of that now. It's a bill that's actually moved a decent amount. But those, like, I wouldn't have thought of that unless people reached out to us and said, hey, this is wrong. You should do something. So your dad reaching out to, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Have you ever calculated to see like the electricity that you consume versus what you don't put, on fuel taxes and see if you're about more or less than $150?
Well, so mine's just a normal hybrid, not a plug-in, not anything else. So the extra
still $150.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Just you don't even plug in?
No. If you're extra
how the hell does that work?
Because you're using less. So the traditional RAV4 is probably about 32 miles per gallon. My hybrid RAV4 is about 38, 39 miles per gallon. So this was part of the compromise back in 2019 when they increased the gas tax. Well, we'll just charge electric people more.
To me, that is the government is looking and they say, oh, these people figured out a way to not pay us. And we're going to adjust to try and grab more money. You know what I mean? To keep them paying what they should when you like make an adjust. That's garbage.
Now, here's a scary thought. State of California, they actually tax you on your miles. So however many miles you drive, you have to report, or there's a device in your car. Speaking of government control.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So I would not be surprised under Vivek, no. Under Amy Acton, yes. Where that conversation is not really pushed of extra increases in terms of.
They're always looking for an end.
I'd be rolling back my freaking thing.
You're gonna
like the good old days. Exactly. Like, rolling it back.
You're gonna go to jail to save $200.
Exactly.
Reminds me of Matilda.
Yeah. All right. We have more. We have more calls. There's some 440 numbers up here. That's your area. So
that is my area.
This is Cheryl, and there's another caller too. Hang tight, Cheryl.
Hey, hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lake County.
Oh, gee, Lake County.
Whitcliffe.
Wow, awesome.
Whitcliffe.
What's up?
So, I have this question regarding the school levies. Mr. Thomas, did you initiate a bill where the schools can only go once a year to request school levies? Because every time a levy fails, they turn around twice a year, put it on the ballot, or they pay for special elections. Okay. I think the once a year bill sounds really good to me because the schools are not going to stop. Not only do they ask for operating levies, the earned income tax levy, which a couple schools in Lake County are proposing in May, and the bonds that the schools are taking out to add on to make a school a bigger school, like Youngstown, with their guard shack or whatever it is that I read. I mean, it's the property it's the property owners that are going to have to pay for that bond for 30 years or more. And when is this going to stop? And so that's my question for you, Mr.
Right.
Thomas. Thanks.
Cheryl, thanks for calling. Say hi to, are you by the lake at Lake County?
Wycliffe is not.
Wycliffe is not by the lake.
No,
She hung up.
It's a little bit more in. So 3 things with that.
All right. So let's review real fast just because you were so law to limit when
Mhm.
they could put it on the ballot,
Mhm.
right? And then the bonds and stuff like that, right? So what do you got? So I
Yes.
saw that bill too. By
Here,
the
give
way,
me the
so.
clicker. I don't trust
Yeah, I'm doing a terrible job. Do you notice that?
I saw that.
And will you,
You're
will you
banning and
answer?
blocking
Will you
calls.
answer the questions like you're supposed, like introduce them and stuff like you're supposed to?
You had the clicker. The responsibility comes with the clicker.
Sorry. Okay,
I get
go ahead.
confused over which mouse is which.
I know they're exact. I keep that one off to the side. That's the important one. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Sorry, Joe's getting mad at me because I'm doing his job.
So first, last General Assembly, we eliminated special elections. So now, right now, under current law, you can only place a levy or any issue on the ballot in the spring primary and in the November election. We used to have 4 or 5 years ago an August special and even a February special, where there were even 2 more times where schools, entities could put things on the ballot. Those are gone now.
So only spring and fall.
Correct.
I honestly thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new as of like a year ago or so. So I do actually have a draft. You all will see something along those lines where you are essentially just moving to a once a year in November, where the voters know November, only opportunity to raise taxes, have renewals, what that actually looks like. It's interesting. How many levies, what percentage of levies do you think passed last November across the state?
Not a lot, I would say. Well, it's a unique time right now too, though, because everybody's anti-levy. I would say, let's see here, of a percent of the levies, I'd say 25%.
Flip it, 87%.
Passed in November?
Yes.
Really?
Low
Yes.
voter turnout equals passing of levies.
Possibly.
Well, no, November would be the highest, though, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So in certain places there was lower turnout, but in other places there was very high turnout. And typically your lower turnout or your non-general elections have more seniors, have more older folks coming as well. They vote every election. 87% of levies passed. Every levy in Trumbull County passed. 33 of 36 levies in Ashtabula passed. Across the state, vast majority. And so there is the argument where, yeah, if you put it on a general election, everyone comes out, you're going to get less support. But actually, this past November showed the opposite. While we're signing petitions to abolish, while we're doing all this, it's a really kind of crazy what happened.
What about historically, though? So just November, because like right now, I don't think that's a good way to compare. Like historically, I would think it would pass they would pass in May, like more. No,
it's about equal. And it's usually about 75%.
Really?
Traditionally, about 75% of levies pass.
I would think it'd be totally opposite.
No,
because I would think the schools, like if I was planning to pass a levy, I would do it in a primary. I would tell everybody that supports the schools to go, which is what I think they thought was happening, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like I'm more likely to go vote in a primary if I'm supporting something.
Now, do they ever put something on the ballot that's controversial to pull more people for things like that, like other bills?
So that happens at the state level.
Yeah.
The marijuana, which I know is a touchy, but I'm just knocking everything.
I actually don't think I had that.
So like that was an example. There's also a possible constitutional amendment floating around for this November on top of the property one that would remove qualified immunity from police officers. And there's talk that that's a Democrat kind of push to get more Democrats out to vote this November. So usually that's the state level where there's constitutional changes. Local level, not so much. It's more, to your point, you target those that you support. On the flip side, if you're coming out to vote in a primary, you're coming out for a reason. Either coming out typically to vote yes, or you're voting no.
No, right.
And sometimes that actually can balance out. But usually, passage rate. So I'm not entirely sure. The best thing, though, that moving everything to November, you, the voter, then clearly see what's going to happen next year in your tax bill. You have every levy right there. You're not forgetting. Tons of people forget what they actually passed in the May election or March election.
Right.
So that way, in November, you see everything right there. You can actually add up in the ballot box. Here's the increase I'm going to see on my tax bill next year.
Did that law make it easier to read or no?
Yes. So part of what we did.
That was one thing I remember, which is good because, man, it's confusing.
One of our bills last year, you will never see another emergency levy. You'll never see another replacement levy. You'll never see another substitute levy, incremental levy.
Can you explain that to me in the 6th grade term? Okay, it's 6th grade, maybe 5th grade. There's a reason why I get along with my 5th grader the best because we're at the same level. So you have these emergency levies. You have these different levies. I don't understand,
and that's why they're gone. So they're gone.
What were they? Like, explain it.
Emergency levies were essentially a levy for the school. The school would say, we're going to be broke, out of money within 3 years. it's an emergency. Please pass this amount. But we had emergency levies going for 20 years.
So they would just keep getting renewed. So the emergency levies could be renewed over and over and over. In truth, then they're not really an emergency levy. They're just a levy.
Substitute levies, very similar, incremental. Those are just different ways to get more and more money.
Okay.
Replacement levies as well. Replacement and renewal levies were always confusing the people. Which one actually increases your taxes? Which one
did? I don't know. Again,
renewals renew the amount of taxes that you're paying.
Okay.
Replacement replaces that old levy with a new levy for the same purpose at a higher amount. But those are all gone.
Okay.
So now moving forward, starting this May, you will only see additional levies, new levies, or renewals. And if a school ever goes to the ballot again, they will have to show how much cash they have in their bank account on the ballot language.
Really?
And what the percent carryover of that cash is.
Wow.
So trying to put more information for the voters, that doesn't help the caller's question in terms of November versus May.
Right.
But I tell folks, you actually have a better chance at mobilizing a no vote and getting community support against a levy in a smaller election year because there's less things competing with your attention.
Huh.
This November, we're going to be so inundated with everything. Same thing with the presidential, that most things just kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
But in a May election, there's going to be a lot less just happening. And so that could help your yes, but also that makes it a lot easier for the community.
Here's the bottom line. And again, I mean, I am a strong supporter of the schools. Obviously, my wife's a teacher. My kids go, you know what I mean? Strong supporter of the schools. But
I'm on a lot of dartboards right now.
What's that?
I'm on a lot of dartboards with schools.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you are. But the bottom line is it has to be transparent for the people, regardless of if they support the levies or don't. I want to be able to make an educated choice when I vote, right? Be it yes or no, whatever else. And I want the people in my community to feel that way too, where they're comfortable making that choice. And the confusion is just, it was probably purposely done. Is that fair?
A big piece of it was, or it's just, support the school, support the fire department,
right?
Vote yes. And you're not really knowing what you're voting on. You're not knowing how much. So we've changed the ballot language. You compare it 5 years ago versus now. You go in, you actually can see how much it will cost you.
Right.
That was never the case. You'll see exactly what it means. Trying just to, it's the most democratic form of taxation.
Right.
Your income tax, wherever you pay it right now to your local city, you have no idea what that's actually spent on. You can't direct it places. Right. Property tax, at least.
You know where it goes.
Yes. For the voted side. The unvoted side's a whole different story, and that's most of our bills last year. But the voted side, you actually have the control.
So what's the voted side versus the non-voted side? So you have the schools are voted.
Yep. Well, part of it.
Part of the school is voted. Okay. Oh, boy.
So boil it down. There's a portion of your bill that's always been on your property. That's kind of like an automatic tax on your property.
Forever. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
The other portion of your bill is all voted.
Right.
All approved by the voters. The voted portion does not increase as your value increases. When you vote, you're voting for a fixed amount. That amount stays the same whether your value goes up or your value goes down.
All right.
The unvoted portion of your bill, that's attached directly to your value.
So when my property taxes went up 2 or 3, whatever it was, from 4,500 to $7,000, that is not a joke. That was the unvoted portion. Correct. That's a bunch of bullcrap.
Absolutely, 100%.
There could have been extra levies that were passed when it went up.
Which there were, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a number. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a portion of it too. But the unvoted piece, that's where most of the frustration comes in.
Right.
Like if you voted for a levy, or if the voters did and you voted no, you still know, okay, democracy. But just because your value went up does not mean that your tax bill should be going up as well. That will never happen again. That spike that happened, that we stopped that.
Right.
That was part of the 5 bills we passed last year. Unvoted increases, those are now capped for the first time, tamped down. And that's where you're seeing a lot of the schools. I know you shared the Matthews article yesterday.
Yeah.
That's where you're seeing a lot of the schools saying, we're getting cut, we're losing money. No, it's decreases on future increases. So they were anticipating getting even more unvoted spikes.
They're looking into the future of how much money they're going to get as the property values continue to raise. And
attrition,
then
cutting it back.
But however, now they're seeing they're not going to continue to increase.
Yep.
So therefore, they're looking at it like a decrease.
Yes. So we are essentially limiting and saying, if the voters want to give you more money, have at it, but you're not going to take it without them approving.
So here's my question to that, though. Everything is going up in value or cost constantly.
Mhm.
So the schools will either be forced to bring levies up or cut,
Yes.
right? And
Same
that's-
thing with fire departments. Same thing with the county services. So all these entities, it's a mind shift.
Mhm.
We as local governments have been reliant on values going up, us getting a lot more in revenue. That has just caused the tax bills
Right.
to go way out of whack. And there will be more levies. There will be more requests on the ballot. That's one of the symptoms. But in my mind, that puts you in much more of
Control, which
Yeah.
is what it should be.
yes.
Absolutely.
I would rather have control, and I would rather have the people have control, even if the people don't agree with me. I'd rather have that than have government officials saying you're going to pay more
Pushing
money.
that on you,
Pushing
yeah.
that on. That's what it's supposed to be. Welcome to
100%.
freaking democracy.
Local government.
Yeah,
should be
right.
direct.
Going back to the COVID stuff, though, one of the big issues on top of just the restrictions, all of that, was what happened financially. So all that money coming down from the feds, going to local governments, going to the state government, all those extra expenses have been baked in.
Okay.
So every local school received millions and millions of dollars during that time period. Some did the right thing, invested that money in infrastructure, in one-time expenses that lowered
Right.
future costs. A lot hired a good number of new staff,
Right.
increased salaries tremendously,
Mm.
did things that cost them then, but every
Still
year
have
now,
now.
yes.
Yeah.
And if you bake in that extra bump, now revenue from federal government's done. You're either going to have to ask a whole lot more from your taxpayers.
Or make cuts.
Yes.
Oh boy, people are losing their jobs,
Ouch.
Joe. And now I can see why they don't like Dave. They don't like why Dave's on dartboards.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying
You're on
yes, yes.
dartboards.
I have a special question from you. This was Kellen, one of our morning hosts. She believes that what I'm about to tell you should be the capstone of your political career. She hates LED headlights. It blinds people.
Dude, normally it's Isaac and I to
No,
do
no.
like a 360. You just went freaking complete 180.
I have to
and
mention
you
it
went,
because she is now throwing all of her energy into
Huh.
making sure LED headlights aren't
they're
blinding
super annoying.
the entire every Ohioan here. So what can you do about death penalties? Huge.
Do you know what I
prison
do when I have that
sentences?
happen to me? Do you know what I do?
What?
I bright beam them.
You high beam 'em back?
Yeah, high beam them back as soon as it goes by. As soon as I see those bright lights, I high beam them.
Well, the argument is if you're going to put something that is high intensity, at least know how to aim it correctly so you're not taken out of her driver. She's worried about the safety and her own annoyance by these LEDs. What can you do for our Kellen?
Kellen just said not. She was like waiting.
See?
She was waiting.
They are dangerous.
This is pretty popular.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, you want to make some. You want to make some friends? There you
Yeah,
go.
get off that dirt board.
Yeah,
by
stop talking about
banning
taxes. Talk
LED
about high
lights.
beams.
Well, I'll have to look at. I'm sure we could. I don't see why we can regulate. Tint on cars. We can regulate different pieces with that.
She said, give them a little equipment that will measure the intensity of their headlights, and if cops see that it's too bright,
Pull 'em
start
over.
issuing tickets.
Now this is so
Who's your moneymaker?
bring back the governor with his seatbelt thing. There's always a balance there with
Uh-huh.
not pulling more people over, not having more of that. But this is a safety thing of other people,
Yeah.
versus just
Me, what I'm doing to
Yes.
myself.
I like that. I will.
There you go.
I'll look and
See?
Oh,
Look at you, Kellen.
look
You
at
are
you,
changing
Kellen.
the world.
We got a caller. You want to take
Yeah,
a caller?
it hasn't got by the screening, so this might not
Maybe
be
they hung up.
anything.
It's been on there
You
for
have
25
screening?
minutes.
that's cool.
It screens them with some AI, ask some
Oh.
questions,
It doesn't
and it
really
tells who
screen
they.
images.
Yes, it does. Don't hate my
Doesn't screen
AI.
anybody.
Don't hate.
You call in here.
You guys use a lot of AI.
Oh, we do. That's all we do.
It's not going anyway.
So marijuana laws.
Deviation.
I got this guy. I got him here. I'm gonna ask him the questions we want to ask.
I'm hoping we override that
Well,
one
now,
too.
here's the thing, though. Tex kind of changed our mind when he was in here. Fisher, Isaac, and I were like, "This is bullshit. Why are they changing the law that was
I
passed?"
told you.
Tex came in here and kind of explained it, and he changed Isaac's idea when Isaac was in, and it was like Isaac never changes like most of the time, and he was like, "Wow, did you support that, Bill?"
So yes.
Now, what we're talking about
56.
is a law passed. For those of you not familiar, a law passed to legalize marijuana and certain, all kinds of different,
Recreationally and
recreation and all that
medically,
stuff. Basically, Republicans down the line passed a law that limited a lot of the stuff. Like you can only grow like 4 plants instead of 12 or whatever else it was.
And how potent it was as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of the
and not public smoking and some
right.
of the different changes. out
yeah,
of
you can't
state.
smoke in public,
Yep.
can't take weed gummies in public,
Yep.
that kind of stuff. So why did you support that?
The biggest reason was the tax side. So I told leadership, our local governments, we all voted when we voted for that to bring some of that money back to the locals. My city of Girard, for example, they have 2 dispensaries.
Yeah.
Only reason they allowed them in was because they would get tax revenue that would offset higher property taxes from those dispensaries.
Right.
They weren't getting anything because how the folks wrote the initiative didn't actually allow any of that money to go anywhere.
I thought they said it did though.
No. So
really?
it was taxed. They wrote it to tax the dispensaries.
Right.
But that money has been sitting for the last 2 years in a bank account in Columbus. State hasn't gotten any of it. Locals haven't gotten any of it. It was never actually able to be appropriated. So my one request to leadership was, if we do a marijuana bill, we need to bring that money back. They were promised this.
Right.
And that was a way, frankly, the governor didn't like that, because if you take away the tax revenue from it, there's no incentive for local entities to bring the dispensaries in.
Why would you do it? Right.
Exactly. So that to me was the most important thing, was fixing that issue. And then there were other pieces in that bill too. But now I can't remember how many hundreds of thousands of dollars Girard has now, as one example.
In Struthers.
Yes, all the different ones that have them.
Austintown was another. Yeah.
So that was my main, we have to do this. If that's in there, I will vote yes.
Wow.
That's kind of how each of us has our main priority with the bill. And then you have to weigh, okay, the other things that are in there, does that outweigh your main priority?
Right.
And for me, that tax money getting to our locals as soon as possible was why, on top of, I don't think when voters approved that, they really approved smoking in public or driving or minors, all that type of stuff.
Right.
The hemp drinks that Texas fought so hard on, I'm really hoping we override the governor's veto on that. I want to override all of his vetoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know you don't
legislative priority. But Tex probably explained that way better than I can, that bill. That's an example of kind of, thankfully it was an initiative where it didn't go in the Constitution. I think a lot of things are in our Constitution don't belong there. And then we can kind of tweak as time goes on.
Right.
Even the out-of-state stuff. That one to me was a little bit on the fence. You can't go to Michigan, load up your car.
With that one. You're right, yeah.
But that was a way to protect
Got it.
our dispensaries here and our businesses here. So a little bit of a waffle waffle.
All right, so the unclaimed funds and their plan to drain that sucker after so long, why is it so big? And it's not, is it they're making it hard for people to get that money back is the intention, I'm assuming?
So one person could say it's hard. The other person could say we're making sure that it's actually grandma getting the money and not a fraudster who's just requesting on behalf of grandma. But it is a huge pile. Have you guys checked to see if you have funds?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch, and it's so freaking hard to get. I haven't followed the 900 steps to get it back. Yeah, look yourself up.
Yeah, it is
probably like $50 or $25.
I got 4,000 stuck in
there. You
have
4,000 stuck in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why aren't you trying to get it?
The form has so many things, like getting notary, submitting documentation.
Oh, I have to go to get a notary?
You want to do it for me? I'll give you 10% if you do the whole thing for me.
No.
This is how deals are done.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do it.
It sucks. And I've printed it a bunch of times, and I'm just like, man, this going to take me 5 hours to get. So I just haven't had time.
We passed a bill in the House, I think it's in the Senate, to make that process easier while trying not to remove some of the safeguards. But there has to be some, like a notary to make sure that, when you're requesting it, it is you with your driver's license. And it's not someone who just looked your name up, got your info, and said that, I'm Isaac and I'm requesting this.
But if the state's going to drain it anyway, they might as well put cash in envelopes, mail it out. At least it's going to get in somebody's pocket other than the government.
Virginia just said, I got you. She's a notary.
Thank you.
There you
Appreciate
go.
it.
She can't even charge you $7.
Hey, Virginia, I'll give you 10% of Joe's money if you help me fraud his $4,000. Joe's over there like, I don't got time to get my $4,000. Like, Virginia, that's the guy. We can take his money right there. He won't even notice. Sorry.
That's an industry.
Yeah, right.
So what we drained was a portion that essentially can never be really requested. It was money that was probably, if I remember correctly, from the 70s back.
Are we talking about the Brown Stadium right now?
It connects. It connects.
That's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah. Well, yep. I need that to be out there.
You guys are going through
I'll let you ask that part of the question. It's not direct.
It's fine.
It's an indirect.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's a fun one. So we essentially took that money that no one could even request anyway. It's just been sitting there. The interest can't go anywhere. It literally is just sunken cash. And the money that's probably 1970s forward could, in theory, still be collected or requested. So that's still sitting there. But there should be a process, and I think we've kind of learned that through this, of at some point you should move that money out and actually use it for taxpayers or for some public
How
purpose.
much money's in that fund?
A couple billion. I think it's around
Billion?
4.
Billion.
Yes.
It's huge.
Yes.
Billion.
Yep.
Wow.
And that some of that's small numbers of like you got $25 on the gift card that you never spent and it goes in there after 5 years, or you close out a bank account but there's still some sense in there, it has to move.
I think I do have one, and it's like $25 and from a while ago, and I never did it because it was so ridiculous. I remember it was like $25 from like a bill or something I paid too much on or something like that. So wow.
But if it's just sitting there, it's not doing any good for anything. So thus the idea of essentially taking that about 1.2 billion out of that fund, and then now not a gift, not just a blank check, 600 million for the Browns project. I know, where I'm a Steelers fan. So
dude, I'm a Browns fan and I don't want that. It's ridiculous.
The positive though is so that 600 million going towards that project. We're the only state in the nation through these different sports stadiums where there is actually, it's a loan.
Okay.
There's a payback. And so I've told, teachers, for example, have told me, why can't we use that 600 million for a school? I've actually kind of joked, well, we are. It's just not upfront. As they pay us back for that 600 million, we then get that money into our general fund, plus interest, plus extra.
Laundering the 600 million to get to your general fund is what you're
in essence
doing. Yes. In essence, what you're doing, right?
And while increasing essentially a whole new city with a whole new kind of economic growth aspect, taking that money then and then being able to actually
spend it. Are you making
it.
interest on that 600,000?
Yes.
600 million or whatever it was?
We will now, essentially.
Okay.
Well, I don't understand, if you've got these billionaires that could just finance it themselves, why are they using state money to do that? There's got to be a incentive somewhere.
I don't know if it's just standard practice or if it's just they're putting up about, it's been a little while, 2.8 billion for that project themselves. Wow. And then we're chipping in 600. And then there's essentially 600 worth of infrastructure or changes that the county and the city and Cuyahoga are doing. So that's the lowest amount of public kind of dollars or help out of any of the stadiums as well. Look at Indiana with what they did moving the Chicago Bears to Indiana. They wrote essentially a blank check for several billion. They've put in 100 million, I think, into essentially a reserve fund, the Browns have, so that money will grow. If, as people have asked, well, what if the Browns move away, or what if it just collapses, the NFL goes away?
Right.
That 100 million will essentially, buyback period, will offset. So we are truly guaranteed that money back.
Okay.
Yes. Plus, and then that money then goes to pay for all the different general fund things at the state level.
Okay. It's secured.
Yeah.
It's got loan payback arrangements.
Yep.
Man, it's a little more palatable that way.
Yes. I was at an event, and it was a faith event with Turning Point Action, a whole bunch of good questions on faith. One woman stands up and says, why did you give $600 million to the Browns? And I just laughed and I said, well, where have you said that we gave it? And she said, the newspaper. And I said, exactly. If you actually look at the bill, not a gift, not just a check, a loan.
The newspapers and the media, did they drive you crazy as an elected official?
Careful, Dave. Political response. So we get
careful, Dave.
Are we talking to Dave here?
What do you think of the local media?
Well, no, I chuckle because I do have a pretty good relationship with a lot of reporters.
Yeah.
So it's been very helpful. My whole thing is trying to get the information out to people. Right. I write press releases, they publish them. So it's worked out pretty well.
Okay.
But on those types of big issues where, it's the national or it's the statewide, that's where I get very frustrated. I clip a lot of articles and just say, one last week, a school was complaining, school's losing millions of dollars.
Right.
I said, no, headline should be taxpayers saving several billion, voters decide.
Well, that's like Catrona's bill. I kind of went at WKBN. Let me rephrase that. I always go at WKBN because I think they're terrible. My opinion, in case you guys want to sue us. Catrona has a law, or is passing a law that pays, and again, this is back to the Ursuline thing where people think I don't like private schools. Resource officers, okay? There's a law that Catrona is passing that says, okay, it's going to help resource officers stay in private schools, okay? Mm-hmm. in our environment right now, what do you think everybody's immediately started talking about? Why are private schools getting free resource officers? Blah, 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 right? Guess what? They 1090 the schools, 1099 and pay those resources officers already. Stupid WKBN doesn't put that little tidbit in their article. Why do you think they do that? So they can get freaking clicks and hits and all that stuff on their article.
Right. Inflammatory.
I have to freaking be the one that takes their article. I go in all the comments and fix everything that everybody's saying. And then I share it to our page and say, this is what's really happening. By the way, and remember a year ago, everybody hated me at the private schools because of freaking Ursula, right? So it's like they do this stuff for clicks and hits. They
100%.
leave stuff purposely out and it drives me freaking crazy.
I always tell folks, if you get upset over something you see, fine.
Yeah.
But ask someone first and just make sure that how it's reported is actually what's happening.
I immediately called Chief Wilson of Poland Township, and he immediately said, yeah, that article sucks. This is what I told them, and they didn't do it. I mean, they purposely didn't do it. It's just, don't get me started. When Isaac, Joe, and I have to be the people that are freaking bringing logic and reason to the media, there's a problem.
Another perfect example of that, I'm sure Tex brought up the libraries.
He did.
Yes.
Did he bring him out? I don't remember.
I don't know.
How he usually does. So last year during budget, we fund libraries at the state level the most out of any state in the nation.
Okay.
Almost double the next closest. The governor requested an extra $100 million for library funding. That was far, far too much. We decreased that down to an extra $10 million of library funding. The amount of coverage, libraries slashed, library budgets cut, libraries can't do this anymore. That was all the headlines. That was what they were pushing. And it was actually still more money
than what they were getting.
Than what they're currently getting.
About.
But it was slashed. One certain paper loves to use the word slash in Columbus. Budget slash.
Columbus Dispatch.
Yes.
That's the only one I know.
So that's when it's frustrating is you're trying to get the message out. And I did. I went on all the libraries' Facebook pages and I would respond to all the comments and just make sure, because you get the information out there and then people are like, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
You go into the comments and respond a lot. I noticed he does do that a lot. I was impressed. It's like, it's got to be careful in those comments.
So do you think libraries are still a proper instrument, or do you think it's a nicety? Do you think they're still, required in our cities and whatnot?
Yeah, we still need them. They've shifted. They're now essentially, especially in my area, I have all the rural parts of Ashtabula and Trumbull. COVID was a good example. People didn't have internet at home. My parents just got internet last year.
Wow.
So where did they go? They went to the library.
Really?
Yes. That's necessity. More of your urban areas, I have a library back home that they're now renting out or loaning out more like tools and equipment than they are actual books or those types of things.
That's cool.
Did you know the Poland Library rents out freaking metal detectors?
They rent metal detectors.
They're in metal detectors. Sorry,
no,
there was totally time you talk about equipment.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there you go. If you need a metal detector, you can go rent it at the library now. You know. Sorry.
Imagine pickaxes and pointy objects. That's what this library was renting out.
Nice.
Pickaxes and pointy objects?
Yes. And they have a huge homeless population right there.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. So, there's questions over, their mission creep is very far. And if we're spending so much on them, is that really with necessity? But we do fund them the best out of any state in the nation.
Well, our library up here, they do a really fantastic job because they're not, patrons don't come there, sit around, read books and get on the internet. They have a studio where somebody can do podcasting, and they have 3D printers so someone can play around and experiment. Right. They have events and some cultural expos and stuff like that. So you're right; they have to be utilized differently in order to play a role.
Almost more community center focused, as opposed to like
the abolished tax people. At least ones in Mahoney County are 100% against libraries, like across the board. They don't want them. They want to shut them down. They want one in every county. Is what?
When's the last time you went to a library, Luke?
Whoa.
What?
Hold on, I'm thinking. Lucas, how old's Lucas? 14?
Yeah.
Probably 10 years ago. like a read a book thing.
Right. You're
blood. I gave blood. No, that's not true. Last year I gave blood at the library. They had a blood drive at the Poland Library.
I was more suggesting went there for the proper use of the library, not just having.
Oh, when's the last time I read a book?
When is it?
21 years ago, I read
Okay,
The
that was
Hobbit,
just my point. That was my point.
Hobbit on my honeymoon. That's
Okay.
the last book, like the full book I sat down and read.
We have
Not saying anything else.
we have way too many of them though. My county, Ashtabula, has 9 libraries, 100,000 people.
That's a lot.
That it's way too many. It's
Yeah.
one per school district. There's 9 school districts in the county.
But the libraries do, at least the one around here, they have a lot of money.
Yours is my go-to example in Mahoning. When I talk about the budget commission,
Yeah.
one of the bills that we passed, and cash carryovers. Why are taxpayers paying more when you have all this cash sitting
Right.
there? You're not actually needing that tax revenue coming in. I think they're sitting on 45 million, the Mahoning County Library. So way out of whack. with
So here's
what's
my
actually
question
necessary.
though. If you do that, well, this isn't just with this. This is another thing I heard recently with like schools. If they don't spend the money, they don't get more money given to them. Like is that you know what I'm saying? So like, wouldn't that force the if I'm the library, I'm like, I'm gonna go spend 45 million, so keep giving me money.
So you can do that right now anyway. And
Right.
the question is, are your taxpayers going to be positive with that or
right.
not going to be positive with it?
Right.
But
Okay, that makes sense.
if you got all this cash sitting there, and I could tell you about the state rainy day fund too, if you'd like, but if you have all this cash sitting there and you've got more taxpayer money coming in, is that really actually necessary?
Right now.
Or can you off balance? So that budget commission, Ralph here in Mahoning, he's awesome. He's one of my mentors. Him at least just asking and kind of having like a check on that tries to put pressure on those entities to try to decrease their rate.
Wow.
Now, the industrialists that funded a lot of the library construction, is that money still around, or is that about depleted?
That's a good question. Carnegie?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a Carnegie library in Conneaut. It's actually getting torn down, I think, next week.
Wow.
Turn it in his grave. That's what he'd be doing.
Yeah, right.
That was his
Carnegie.
way of saying, I'm sorry. And now you tore it down.
Yes. Yeah. That's pretty much. We don't have Elon Musk libraries yet. But
No, not yet. That will be.
Okay, wait. I might have to tell him earmuffs to put his for the joke I'm about to make right now.
Okay, yeah. Don't
Mike
judge us by what I was
Mike
about to-
Ferguson just said, "Oh, I'm sure he read a book on his honeymoon." This guy, I don't know about you, but on my honeymoon there was a lot of extra time because it was quick. Get it?
Got it.
Sorry. All right. You
Sorry,
got
Dave.
it. You got it.
I just sit here and smile.
How come we never see politicians talking about having too many politicians? If government at all levels must shrink, should not these initiatives lead by example and make their first push to shrink their own ranks?
But you
Ooh.
start spreading political power over many more people, then you get less influential people in the mix. That might be a
How many people do you think I represent? At the
Shoot, so
state
you're
rep
in
level?
top of Northern Trumbull County, right?
Yep.
Are you all of Trumbull County? No, Northern.
3/4 of Trumbull, all the rural parts of Trumbull,
Okay.
going down to the Mahoning County line, Hubbard,
Yep.
Girard, and then 3/4 of Ashtabula,
We're at Nashville. I'm sorry.
all south of 90. So all the
South
rural
of 90.
parts.
So you're not
Yep.
up by like Conneaut or anything like that.
No.
100,000.
I'm going to say 180.
125.
Oh,
Okay.
So each state rep represents 125,000 people.
okay.
Each state senator is 3 state reps. So they represent about 400,000 people. Each congressman represents about 900,000 people.
Wow.
Each township trustee represents probably on average about 4,000 to 5,000 people. Who are you closest to? You're closest to those that are at the local. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So you can erase, there's 99 state reps. You can go down to 33 if you'd like, but that means that you're now represented by a lot less people. And is that better for you,
Ooh, that's a good point.
or is that worse?
Right.
So
Can I ask him a question without you getting mad at me from your list? Because I have a feeling this was on there too.
Go
Are
ahead.
you out of questions on your list?
No, I have a couple more. Go ahead.
Okay. So redistricting and
Yes.
gerrymandering
Oh, yeah.
in Ohio. And, that Len, what you were just talking about, the feeling that we need to, create more legislators to represent populations that they can actually represent, and then putting common interests on those that representation instead of like political districting. What are your thoughts? Like, how are we in the whole comparison to all the other states versus, that kind of thing?
So we're better. Look at what they're doing in Virginia right now. They're going from, I think, a 6-4 congressional map to a 9-1 congressional map.
What does that mean? 9.
So 9 Democrats, 1 Republican.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Look at Illinois, look at New York, look at California. Ohio, even though we are, there's less Democrats obviously than Republicans, we're actually pretty balanced comparatively. Our process is wonky. It's actually because we voted in 2018 for our current process. The voters decided that.
Yeah.
Issue 1 in 2024, I was unopposed, ironically. So I spent a lot of time traveling around the state fighting against that. Issue 1 would have created an independent commission.
Yeah, that was nuts. Do you
It was
remember
a
that?
horrible issue.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's where a lot of states are. So we're much better than that. My district is a perfect example. If folks look at it, it looks kind of gerrymandered. It looks a little bit weird, jaggy. But I remind people, demographically, it's very similar. It's all the rural parts of 2 counties. To get 125,000 people out of that kind of demographic, you have to take in some cities,
right?
Not have certain townships. It's like a jigsaw. And so you are kind of playing with different populations. There are some districts that are 100% gerrymandered. They were picked because one person lived here and they had to make sure that they were either in there or not in there. But when you actually take a step back and you take the people out and just look at who's actually living there, most of our districts are pretty good. Perfect example, Nick Santucci in Trumbull. He represents a Democrat district. That district should not be a Republican-held district. There are about 7 or 8% more Democrats in that district than Republicans. He's a Republican. People could look at that and say, well, you gerrymandered that to get a Republican in there when it should be a Democrat. No, the Trumbull County Democrat Party is so inept and unable to actually function that they can't actually challenge someone effectively. And thus we have a great Republican there because no Democrat's able to actually take him out. So that's a big piece of, we have probably 6 or 7 districts on the Republican side in the House that we should not have, but we do because the Democrat Party has just left their party, all those different pieces. And it's actually, we're just doing better at it.
So now the horse trading that in this last round, where part of Cincinnati for part of Akron, like what's the strategy in that? And how is that all politics, or was there a reason for that?
That I'm not entirely sure, but yes, probably more political. If we could have, we could have easily gone to a district map where there's only one Democrat in the state. We could have actually done that, just like Virginia is, which is crazy. That's wrong.
Yeah, right.
We didn't do that. And so then you're trading back and forth. Democrats and Republicans are in that room together, and they're looking at where does it actually make sense? What's moving? I don't think we traded Cincinnati for Akron. I think it was more Northwest Ohio, Marcy Kaptur's district. That is one where Democrats should not have it. They have, because she's essentially been mapped to keep it.
Okay.
Now she's not mapped to keep it anymore because it's just reality. But in order to do that, even just moving districts around, you then made Akron and you made Cincinnati essentially safe for Democrats. So there's the question, should it be strictly representational? If it is, then you're actually creating maps, not based on demographics or people, but based on politics.
Which is what we don't want. Yeah,
right.
That's bad. Yeah.
So I'm going to draw the maps out using AI, and I'm just going to put a formula of interest and how people need to be represented and how important those representations.
That's a great
and
idea.
it'll draw that shit out without any human in
there you go. That's a good idea.
Yep.
But that map will be horrible in the sense of it'll look super gerrymandered because you're essentially not keeping communities together. You're focusing on just purely the demographics of the people itself.
Well, my formulas could be pretty complicated. I'll make them good. I'll make them really good.
I'd be curious.
In the comments right now, I'm getting destroyed by Mike and Scott. Go up a little bit, Joe. I gotta show you.
No.
Yeah, you guys will all enjoy this.
Get profane? Is that what
No,
I did?
as I get destroyed by my quote friends here. Greg Day says Luke's a sprinter, not a marathon. Talking about my honeymoon.
The early finisher.
Dave's, can we fix sports betting in Ohio? We want college prop bets back. Also online casinos. What'd you think of that stuff?
We're trying for the online casino side. That is a very slippery slope.
Okay.
I had a bill to allow online charitable gaming.
Charitable gaming?
Yes,
Okay.
for raffles. Technically in the state of Ohio, if you buy a raffle ticket online for a fire department or for a school,
It's online betting.
it's actually illegal.
Really?
It's done tremendously. Like, it's crazy how often it's done, but it's technically illegal. Attorney General was going after fire departments for doing these online raffles.
So online raffle is I log onto a website and buy a ticket.
Or you just simply
I Venmo somebody
Yes.
$100.
that is
dude,
technically illegal.
I do that all the
Yes.
time.
That's my
MLO
floor,
bros are going to get shut down.
my floor
Wow.
speech was that, where essentially I broke the law each day of the weekend because I bought a ticket for a different.
Yeah.
So, but that bill, perfect example of crazy how all these different interests, you have the, very conservative socially folks that want no expansion of anything in terms of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
You have the casinos, you have the online sports betting folks, you've got then the nonprofits, and how do you weave all those interests
Right.
So I don't know if we're going to make any changes with online gaming or betting or anything like that, but it's a very, very thin line.
Is the Catholic Church one of the ones that are against a lot of the online gambling and stuff like that?
Direct competition, you mean?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
They use it a ton. I will say there's a certain group at the state level that was very against our bill.
Uh-huh.
I emailed them and said, you realize your members all use online raffles to fundraise for their schools.
Or you go play blackjack at the freaking
In the gymnasium of Catholic schools.
Right, and for Catholic schools. That's okay.
Yeah, that's in person.
Yeah, by the way, that's okay. But yeah, you're not allowed to freaking gamble online. But yeah, go play freaking. And by the way, did you ever play blackjack at the thing? They freaking on a tie, the Catholic Church wins.
Yes. Mathematically, it's a great
The house always
fundraiser.
wins. The house always
The
wins.
house, the house wins, but they curve it so you can't even win.
Yes.
Absolute garbage.
It's a donation.
It's donation.
It's a donation.
Yeah. We did try to do it in the budget last year, get online just pure gaming, like online games where there was a dealer that didn't fly. But I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we move in that direction.
Joe, VPN.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the argument. It's already happening.
Yeah, I can do it right now. I'll do it right now on my phone. I'll VPN to wherever it's legal and call it a day.
It was the same argument for the marijuana thing. Like, it's already happening.
Yeah.
So you might as well.
I wish Isaac was here right now. I wish Isaac was here right now because you know what he'd say. Same argument for the porn thing.
Yeah, Pornhub.
The Pornhub where you're the line we're talking about? He does. You want to talk about porn? So state rep Dave Thomas, let's talk about porn, shall you? What's your fancy, Dave?
You turned red, Luke.
You guys are fun.
What's your fancy?
I ironically have a very bad poker face. So in the budget, we did put the age verification in for Ohio. Became law. Pornhub, a couple others said this doesn't apply to us. We don't fit your definition. They're still not having age verification. Separate bill.
What was the definition? Do you even know? Like, how were they cited? That's amazing.
Yes, they have good lawyers.
Yeah.
So there's a separate bill now that will probably pass in lame duck that essentially just quashes their definition, puts all that age verification in.
Okay.
But not my bill, not my area.
Let's not discuss
For
that.
those of you who are fans of porn, don't vote him out. I got your back, Dave. Don't worry about it.
That's why I voted for Dave.
You want porn? Vote for Dave. See,
that's a bumper sticker.
I'm gonna make that bumper sticker. Dave Thomas supports porn. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what though? Honestly, our kids need to freaking go back and do it the way we did through the Skinamax and through the fuzzy lights. Sorry, Dave. You probably earmuffs, Dave. Yeah,
Hustler and Playboy.
Yeah, exactly. Sears catalogs.
Yes.
You got to freaking do it. They got to freaking earn it.
Absolutely.
Don't tell.
You doing Verb today? Is that what I saw?
Usually I do it on Thursdays, but couldn't do it yesterday. I think next Thursday. So I try to call in every.
So you're not going in on Verb today?
No,
because if you were, you have to freaking be like he's gonna be like, hey, what's up? Oh, I was on the MLO. Just say that to him.
It'll make him mad.
He actually, to be honest with you, did I tell you Verb met Isaac?
Yeah.
And they got along and they was all good. And you know,
Verb's a good dude.
He
really
acts like he doesn't know who we are, but he totally knows who we are. But
dude's got a great sense of humor.
He does.
When he's not behind the mic, he's amazing.
Fun story, Dave. At one point, Verb had said live on the air that he didn't know who the MLO Bros were. So we got all of our followers. You remember we did this?
I did. I was listening.
And for 4 hours, we called into a show. We streamed it live, and we had all of our followers call in and be like, "Hey, first time listener, first time caller, long time listener," and just hammer him.
I heard about you on the MLO Bros.
Dude, it was so. And actually, he talked to us. He said that was hysterical. So he's a good.
He's great.
He appreciates
another perfect example of just getting the word out.
Yeah,
and just talking directly to people.
Yeah. Oh,
we were judging you here today whether or not you would go total stump speech on us or you'd be relatable and have conversations. I give you an A.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely an A.
100%. So what do you have? You have something else today, though, right? You're going somewhere
I'm
else?
actually going to Roaming Shores up in Ashtabula, doing a talk on taxes there, going to a school.
Roaming Shores
is amazing.
What's Roaming Shores?
A lot of people down here have a house on the lake, right in the center of Ashtabula County, private lake,
really?
all surrounded $1 million homes all around there.
Never been there.
Yeah, great for boating. Great for
really?
fishing.
Is it a big lake?
Place.
Yeah.
It's private.
It's very private.
Which is why I never go there. They won't let me on their lake.
Next time I go up there, I'll invite you. We'll hang out.
Do you have something there?
I don't have anything there, but I have a lot of, like you said, a lot of people around here have their summer homes or vacation homes. It's 45 minutes to get there, and you can live like.
Is it like real exclusive? like real nice house, expensive houses.
The prices are
probably why I've never
Yeah.
been there. Same reason I don't go to the lake club a lot. Wow. So Luke is a fan of abolishing property taxes. Oh, Hope, how there's our little stalker. I am not I've said this since the very beginning with the property taxes. I say I'm starting to lean towards it a little bit, but I gotta know like what's gonna happen. And that's all I've ever said. I have to know what's gonna happen because okay, I pay $7,000 a year in taxes. I have 3 boys, I have a wife, I have an Amazon problem with our house. I honestly think if you do the math, now I'm not saying it's going to be 20% like DeWine got up there. I don't think it'll be that. My concern is with the amount of money we spend, it will be more than $7,000. That's my concern. And if you want to abolish taxes, fine, but show me I'm not going to spend more than $7,000. That's it.
So 2 things. First, the 20% that the governor shared, that's impossible. Here's a great example of that.
Yeah.
Why not go then to Pennsylvania? We would have huge losses. 20%, just no taxpayer would actually approve of that or accept it. And so you're not going to be able to raise it that high, which means you can't bring in the revenue that we currently have.
Right.
And that gets back into then we have to cut. We have to actually decrease what we're spending. And then the question is, where do you cut? What do you cut? Which we need to, but how much would you actually have to decrease that $24 billion down? Other aspect, I joke with folks, this ironically would be the largest commercial and public utility tax cut in Ohio's history.
Right, obviously.
So right now, commercial public utilities pay anywhere between half to a third of the property tax bill.
Right. And that was another thing too. It's like all the Walmarts and all the other, they're not going to pay freaking property tax.
If it goes away, because I don't see us, I think we should, but I don't see us being able to increase taxes on them then to offset. And so then that means if we shift it all over to income or to sales tax, even if we're decreasing the actual revenue coming in, now it's solely on the individual versus sharing it with the business side.
So you're literally, what you're saying is you would be literally giving businesses a huge tax hit. Big businesses, because they're the ones that own all the land and everything else like that. So that's what you're saying.
If he were to write something right now and it takes your tax rate back 8 years to what you were paying before this raise, would you accept it that we just pause it right there?
100%. Well, I mean,
and I tell folks,
why wouldn't I?
You had the opportunity to do that in November. If you had voted no and not renewed levies, that would have actually decreased then your burden. What people did though, they renewed levies, but then even added on top of that.
Right.
And so
do you think that goes back to people not knowing what they were voting on?
Partially, but also people wanting those services and being okay then asking. Now one of my bills, its original version actually would have essentially done that. I was called the biggest defunder of the police, schools, local governments. It was insane, the amount of pushback. And even normal taxpayers said, this is too much. Don't go this far. And so you kind of have that mix of, yes, there's still a good amount of the population that will be willing to go back that far. But when actually push comes to shove, we lose support for that.
Right. Wow. So when the commissioners and all the fear mongering people were screaming, it would got to 18 to 20% tax the informed people. Scream BS. And by the way, this is not Hope Faith. This is Madeline, or Maddie, as she likes to be called. That's her fake name. I'm going to expose you. And while she's talking about this, I do want to say that. At first, I was like, okay, we can't abolish taxes. But you start digging into it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I started researching. I didn't read a book, but I was just doing ChatGPT stuff, by the way, for the record.
ChatGPT did the heavy lifting.
And it's like, I can see why the commissioners and the schools are pushing back at you, which makes sense when you really start breaking it down. And is there fear mongering? 100%? Because I'll tell you what, now I'm self-employed now, but when I was working at the banks, if they came to me and said, "Hey, Luke, we got to do cutbacks. We're going to cut your salary by 20% or whatever it is," I'd be freaking furious too, and I'd be scared, and I'd be everything else.
Defensive reaction for sure.
Defensive reaction, and I could see why they're doing that.
Yeah, you add in government, and you just add in that there's natural just increases, or there's a progression where you keep growing.
Right.
You add in all the extra COVID money, for example. We do have to cut back. It's just a matter of how do we actually do it, and what number do we do it. We get banged up a lot. Commissioners, other people say, well, the state should pay for this, or the state should cover this.
So it's like the schools cut, or a good example. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Let me fix that.
Yep.
Madeline. It's so much of like the commissioners were pissed at you when you did the double homestead exemption. Did you hear this? So it's giving seniors more of an exemption.
Okay.
Capping it off, or the property owners. I forget, it was like a limit of the if like the primary residence, absolutely, whatever that was, like a primary residence. So they immediately were going after these guys for passing it because and putting it on them because the commissioners are going to lose money.
Right.
And they're asking the state, well, if you're going to cut our money, it's Lauren Lee. Hi.
Hope Faith is calling in, by the way.
Oh, good God. I'm going to do this one. Give me the phone because this is my favorite friend.
Nope. We'll wait till it screens out.
She's going to probably yell at me and call me names.
Yell at me. That's why I'm going to put her on and keep her on.
Does that mean so? That's what they're pushing back.
So the question is, do you actually need the current revenue that's coming in? I would say no. And so if you're doing tax cuts, if you're doing decreases in the actual tax side, then you shouldn't have that backfilled.
Right.
The taxpayers are paying them a certain amount. If the revenue coming in is too much, which it has been, because
so you think the revenue is too much?
Oh yes,
100%. Okay,
because
that's the difference.
What's the revenue? The revenue has been from 2020 to current. All those increases from the property tax pieces, higher valuations, that unvoted increase.
Yeah,
they've used it because that's what government does.
Gotcha.
You get money coming in, you use it, but it's too much.
So you think it's too much? Well, it's a basic thing of state thinks it's too much.
Yeah,
commissioners and everybody else don't think it's enough.
Right. And if you backfill, you're taking what you pay down to the state, and you're not actually decreasing any taxes. You're just moving it right over to the locals.
Right.
So the state, we decreased income tax another $1.5 billion. Sales tax, we actually gave back almost a little over $1 billion last year during that holiday. So we're actually trying to decrease even more at the state side, and then you decide what you want to do.
I do have you have something to say? I have a quick question for him before we take that caller.
Go ahead.
Caller, just hang tight real quick. So the from the state side, the data centers that are flocking to Ohio because of our cheap utilities and whatnot, and the pushback they're getting from some of these small communities, what role can the state play in making sure that Ohio doesn't miss out on the boon that is going to be data centers?
So we need more data centers. Like that's been something I've been very firm on. We don't need our data in China, Russia, whatever.
Right.
But just like other development, if you have a housing development come in, there's a reason why usually the community pushes back against it, because they see all these new things coming in, they see their bills increase, and they're actually paying for it. You can't have that.
Yeah.
New development coming in, you have to actually lower the community's bill, cost, whatever.
They should get a benefit of having it in the community.
So data centers, if you look at where do they increase costs, electricity side, that's a big one, possibly water, or tax exemptions, abatements. If they're built right across the border in Pennsylvania, we're all the same grid.
Still going to get it.
So even if we ban data centers today in Ohio, we're still having our electricity costs increase because they're using the electrons over there instead of here. We don't get the benefit though of our employees building them, our tax revenue, just more growth. So there's that balance there. Have a bill that would essentially prevent the cost shifting of the electricity side for any of that buildup. The federal government.
I'm sorry.
Oh, go.
So what I think a lot of these small towns, they get intimidated, but they're dealing with these huge dollar amounts and this big interest. I think if the state lent in to make sure they were getting a good deal and they had mechanisms to protect the community, I think all of us would feel good instead of commissioners deciding this. Lawyers from the state are putting a stamp of approval. You know what I mean?
So I'm smiling because that's essentially the opposite of local control. And it's folks, we get asked that a lot. You just deal with it. And we kind of chuckle because we're always told have locals decide things, give the control back to local governments. But then on certain things, no, the state needs to do this.
because they want to blame you.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So do you want a
sense.
one-size-fits-all policy for data centers across the state? No, you don't. But there's a balance there. Perfect example, we exempt the sales tax from data centers being built. So when a data center is built, any of the supplies, any of the sales tax amount that should be paid, they don't pay.
Right.
That's ludicrous. We put that in the budget to remove it. The governor vetoed it. I'm hoping we override it. But that's like one way we can tell people coming in, hey, this data center is coming to Trumbull County. It will actually, just purely by it being built, it'll increase your tax revenue, offset what you have to pay.
Okay, I know Madeline's very busy.
Right, caller, go ahead.
Madeline's very busy making memes of Isaac and I. She got a busy day. Go ahead, caller.
As you are as well, Luke.
You
Of
love
course.
to make memes of me.
Of course
I
do.
know you're obsessed, but that's okay. So listen,
We're getting
the commissioners want to cry over the doubling the homestead exemption and owner occupancy, but their budget has grown their general fund, which is their checking account, that they can use that money, the general fund only, which was $34 million in 2016, is all the way up to $50 million at the end of 2025, I think. They brought in $60 million. Okay, so here's what happens. They set the budget, the general fund budget, that's their baseline. They adjust it upwards all year long, and then they're bringing in revenues 20% above what they budgeted for. So what do they do the following year? They just raise the general fund budget, and it happens in perpetuity every single year. They're growing out of control, and they want to cry and whimper that they can't give what Dave Thomas just did. They have the power to do that. They should do it now, give relief back. It doesn't, first of all, if property taxes are abolished, it impacts the county very minimally. It's the schools, the fire, and police that are the concern, which nobody
70%.
ever wants to get rid of.
Right.
So whoever's saying that's a joke. I mean, I live in Poland myself. My taxes are higher than yours.
Yeah.
And it's gotten out of control. My kids went there. I love the school. I love the police department. I mean, I've never felt safer. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else but Poland. The school district is second to none.
Right.
But at the end of the day, people are tapping out. And so what's the answer? Status quo, let it go? Dave Thomas is doing a hell of a job because at least he's doing some things that if this doesn't pass, and maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't even make the ballot. I mean, I think that eventually it's going to get on the ballot. If it doesn't get on the ballot now, it's going to get on the ballot eventually. Because we're not going to turn the signatures in. That's how that's going to work. You just won't turn the signatures in until you hit the number. It's going to hit the ballot. So everybody should be prepared for it hitting the ballot.
If you're making
It's just when does it hit the ballot?
If you're making Maddie happy, you're doing a good job. Just going to throw that out there. Oh, Maddie, by the way, Matt, I said if he's making you happy, he's doing a great job. Can I compliment you real fast?
Yeah.
You ready? I listened to you on Verb. What was it, a week or two ago? And you did a good job talking and explaining the taxes. As much as it kills me to admit that.
I appreciate that.
I listened.
Common sense.
I listened to you, and you made me do some research and think about things. That's all I'm going to give you credit for.
I appreciate that. See, so you don't hate me as that bad. You don't have to do crazy memes about me either. You've taken some good shots at me, and I'm pretty good at fighting back.
You do. You do a good job. I'm just telling you, I'm not as far off on this tax thing as you think. That's odd.
I don't think, but I think you definitely are a liberal. You're a liberal.
It depends on the topic.
You are.
It depends on the topic.
And I think that I think we differ a lot in what I think is an acceptable use of taxpayer dollars and what I think should be mandated and what should be supported with tax levies.
Yeah, I think
because you're holding these people hostage. I mean, is it fair for somebody to lose their home? And I know they're voted on, but thank God for Dave Thomas because he's making sense on when they're voted on and putting caps on things.
Actually, we'll ask him that. All right. Seriously, thanks for calling, Maddie.
All right. Bye.
I'm going to ask you that one too.
Was that good? You had a little kumbaya thing. It kind of shifted. It felt like it wanted to go in the other direction.
With her since the beginning of time.
Yeah. So good on you. Good
I'm trying here. Yeah. I'm trying. Good. I'm trying to move forward.
She likes you, Dave. She likes you a lot.
She likes you. I mean,
she's very nice.
She likes you.
Opinion.
She likes you. She only slightly Leslie hates me right now. I'll take it. Seniors losing homes, and we got a couple more minutes. We got to go because we get 2 hours to get cut off.
We'll just cut you off right at the 2 hour mark.
Are you passing a law to prevent that? Did I see that?
Yeah. So House Bill 443.
Okay.
That would essentially be the protection for seniors. Right now, that happens very, very, very rarely, but it happens and it can. And I think it scares seniors. And so at the very least, we should be putting into law to codify what the current practice is.
Right.
Which is probably 99% of the time, a treasurer will not actually foreclose on a senior.
Really?
Yes.
I actually asked Mitchum. And by the way, he's a super nice guy. By the
Ralph?
way, yeah.
Oh,
Ralph.
yeah.
I emailed him and said I would like the numbers of how many seniors lost their homes between 2004 or 2003 and 2025. He didn't have the numbers. When he sent it to the prosecutors, they didn't have the numbers.
Did they just put a lien on the property and just wait for a natural end kind of thing?
Typically, you just let the delinquency kind of build up.
Okay.
The treasurer can only foreclose on X amount of homes or properties per month. Typically, the treasurer will focus on commercial properties, vacant properties, or homes where people aren't living there. And you do payment plans. You just try to work things out. It does happen very rarely, but the fear there, obviously,
Right.
and then folks move. I think what could happen more is that seniors just can't pay, and so then they move or they sell their home instead of just staying there and trying to work out something with the treasurer's office. So our bill just essentially lets
That
them
makes sense.
stay. They still have to pay something. They still would owe, because if you exempt or if you remove that amount from anyone, someone else has to pay it. And we're
Right.
trying to stop shifting and just decrease everyone's. But
So it would just be like a reverse mortgage.
I was going to say
supplied by
for
the
your
state.
taxes, you like the lien slowly builds, and when they're no longer in the house,
It gets paid back by
Gets paid
the,
back.
the sale. Yeah.
that's kind of what 443 is. Smaller amount, but it just gives that certainty that, yeah, we're not kicking grandma out.
yeah.
Because Ashtabula, 6 years, I don't know of any example where we actually did that.
Faith just said Maddie just said that's the only bill I don't
Oh.
like. Well, you're
I'm
out.
sorry.
You
I'm
you're
sorry.
a friend this long.
You're out. There you go. Sorry. She's working on a meme of you right now.
We can talk about it.
Yeah, you can call. She can call you. Yeah.
You can. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So
All right. Yeah, let's give your pitches on things and get on out of here. So give me your
oh yeah, we got to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be set up in Ashtabula, right? Later. So all right. So
So
anyways,
fish fry and Hubbard tonight.
Fish fry and Hubbard?
Yeah.
Fish fry front. There you go. Everybody, thanks for watching. Dude, will you come back on?
Yeah.
This has been
Happy.
fantastic.
Heck yeah.
Anytime.
We got to get him when Isaac's here too,
Okay.
because Isaac will ask all kinds of. Thank God he wasn't here for the porn topic. I'm telling you right now.
we would have devolved super fast. Super fast.
Follow him on Facebook too. By the way, you have just Dave Thomas.
Yeah, just Dave Thomas for Ohio, and try to do as much on there as possible.
Yeah.
Just to,
It's a great Facebook page. He does give all kinds of information. Isaac and I are loan officers and realtors. If you want to finance a home, buy a home, rates have now gone up because of the war, by the way. They're freaking shooting up. But we'd love to help you guys out. Call us, message us. Joe want to do a podcast.
that's the
Joe
radio
wants to do a podcast. Call Joe. Call Youngstown Studio. If you want to sponsor our show, we actually have people asking in the comments. Please call Joe.
Yeah.
Call Youngstown
Yeah,
Studio. We'll
uh,
take more sponsors. Menchie's and also Senior Solutions currently sponsoring us. Awesome. Make sure you go. 20%. Dude, do you ever go to Menchie's?
No.
Menchie's in Boardman. Go get some ice cream right now before your thing. Or it's not ice cream. It's froyo. It's amazing. You build your little thing. 20% off if you mention us.
Nice.
So there you go. Already created. Okay, there you go. Dude, wait, look, real fast. Mike Firm says has already created the Facebook page. Dave Thomas loves porn.
See, that is the real risk of doing this show, Dave. The real risk.
Our followers are now all like trending now on Facebook. Dave Thomas loves porn.
This is the Howard Stern of Youngstown.
And he uses good news.
All right, everybody.
we're out
Well,
of here.
thanks for watching. Dave, thanks a lot for
Thank
coming
you.
on. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, guys. We'll see you guys all Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel